Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Ayush, and in this lecture number 5, we are going to be learning about loops. What are different types of loops, and we will be doing some questions regarding that. So, let us start from the basics like what are loops? So, as you can see here, loops in Python. So, what are loops? So, loops are used to repeat instruction. Means if you want to repeat something, like if I want to print my name, so what would I do in Python? I would just write print in double quotes, hello, and I would print this out, right? That's how you print hello or your name, anything in Python. If I want to print this 5 times, what I would do? I would write 5 times hello and I would print this. Then 5 times hello would be printed. But what if there is one more short thing which I can do using loops? So without writing 5 times print hello, print hello, print hello, it makes the thing more burden. It makes very complicated thing. So what if I use loops here? So while using loop, I would be writing hello 5 times or how many times I want. That's my wish according to that, right? So this is the use of loops in Python. So we are going to be learning about what are while loops. After that, we are going to be learning about what is for loop. Okay, so first thing is what are while loops. So how to write while loop? So while is a function over here. So you have to write while because that's a function. You can't change that, and the condition and the work that you have to do. If you want to print hello, you will be writing print hello or whatever, right? Okay, so before doing the questions, let us print hello 5 times, right? Rather than writing hello 5 times like manually, we will be using loops over here. So how to write loops? I said while loop, especially you have to write while and count. Okay, let's go from the basics, right? So while if it is true, you have to print hello. So in this case, see, in generally this while condition is true. So it would be printing hello infinity times, right? Infinite time it would be printing hello. We haven't gave it a stopping. So what if I run this code? See, it's going to run infinite times, right? So make sure you don't do this while making loop. You have to break it. Otherwise, it's an useless loop, right? It's a wrong loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count from 1. Count is a variable I've given. Count is equal to 1. I have assigned the value of count as 1. Now I will be using while loop here. While the count is greater than equal to 5, I would be printing hello. And count plus equal to 1. Let's print this out and then I would be explaining the code. Okay, what is wrong here? Okay, count count run. Yeah, so hello has been printed 5 times, right? So how this code works? Okay, so I have assigned the value count as 1, that you have to start with 1. 1 hello 1 would be printed. After that, while the condition, what is the condition? The count has to be greater than equal to 5. If the count comes to 5, Till that you have to count, that you have to print hello, and the count would get increased after one by one. Let's suppose for more easier way, what if I write here comma I, wait, comma count. Let's run this code. Yeah. So this would be more easier to explain, right? So let us understand bit by bit rather than just moving forward, right? So let the video be longer. That's fine, right? So yeah. So the count has been assigned as 1 while the count is greater than equal to 5. It would be starting from 1 and the count will be increasing till 5, right? Till 5 it will get stopped, right? From these two conditions, what we have to do, we have to print hello, right? And I've assigned the hello, each hello into count. Like if one hello would be printed, then hello 1, hello 2, hello 3 till 5. And what is this one? Count plus equal to 1. Without writing this condition, what will the output be? It would be just hello 1, hello 1, hello 1, hello 1, hello 1. It will not increase the value, right? Just 1 would be printed. What if 2? We have to add 2 plus 1, add 3. We have to again, the count would be adding 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? This thing has been clear, right? More questions will be there so that you could understand everything easily. Now, this is one more question over here that we have to print number from 1 to 5. This is an interesting question. We would do this so that everything is clear, right? So, what if I'm assigning the variable as I? I can assign. It is starting from 1. I have to print from 1 to 5, right? So, I is equal to 1. While, what is the condition? That I is greater than equal to 5. I have to print till 5. What I have to print? I have to print the numbers, that is I, right? Because I as, because I have assigned I as 1. So till 1, till 5 would be, it would be printing from 1 to 5, it would be getting printed. And what I have to do, that I should be adding 1 by 1, right? I plus equal to 1. Let's print this. Okay, I double print it, that's fine. See, 1 2 3 4 5, it has been printed, right? This is how you can print from 1 to 5. If you want, you can even print till 100, but what I would do is I will be printing at the last. Whenever it comes to 100, it would be printed loop ended. Let's print this out. So it has been printed from 1 to 100 and the loop has ended, right? This thing has been done. Shows infinite iterations, right? As I said, as I shown you earlier, it will be infinitely printing hello, 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 hello if you don't give any stopping point. Like in this case, we have given the stopping point, we have to get till 100, right? So this has been done. What if, one more thing I would be doing here, if I want to print from 5 to 1, if I want to reverse the order, what would I do here? Let's take from 100 to 1, what would I do? So I would be starting from 100, it will be going till I is lesser than equal to 1. It would be printing I, and I would not be plus or equal to 1. What if I run this code? Let's see. See, it's an infinite loop. What's going on? See, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, it has processed like 17,000, right? So I don't want to add this one by one. I want to subtract it. So I would just do here is negative, negative, I negative equal to 1. So it will be printing from 100 to 1. till the loop ended. Right. Yes, this thing has been cleared, I guess. Let's clear this up. This thing has been done. Let's do some questions that we have recently did is print numbers from 1 to 100. We have seen how to print it. We have also seen print numbers from 100 to 1 when we have done. And now the third question over here is the print multiplication table of a number, right? So in this case, let us assign a value. Let us assign the value of n and let's print the table of that. So for this, let's suppose the variable is from, I'm starting with 1 while I is greater or equal to 10. Why 10? Because I want from 1 to 10, right? The multiplication of, let's suppose I am taking the multiplication of 3, print 3 into I, and I want to plus that. I want to plus I 1 by 1, that is plus equal to I. Yeah, let's print this out. See, it's a table of 3 here. Let us do one thing, that let us assign the value of 3 as, let us take this as n and let us give this as input from the user. Let us take input from the user, which is n equal to int input, enter your number, enter your number. Let's run this code. Let's take the table of 5. So it's the table of 5 right here, right? Yeah, this thing is being cleared, I guess, right? This is how you can print something. Let's suppose I want to print like 5 into 1 equal to 5, 5 into 2 equal to 10, like that. So what would I do here? I would do is assign double quotes n multiply by I, comma n, comma I, comma equal to. Yeah, so everything is being assigned. Let's print this out. Let's take the same table 5. So in this case, you have seen that the number of 5 has been printed. The table of 5 has been printed, right? So yeah, that is how you do it. And now let us take other question which is interesting, that is print the element of the following list using loop. That I have to print this list over here. I just have to print this using loop. Let's take, first of all, let's take the list. Let's take random numbers. There are some random numbers over here. Now let's print this. How to print it? Let's suppose I'm starting I from 0, right? Because it's in 0th index. That's why I'm starting it from 0. While I is greater than length of the number I is greater than length of the number, I have to print the number of each index. and I have to add that I one by one. Let's print this. So yeah, each element in the list has been printed one by one using while loop. So the question has been done. So let us see what I have done in this. So first I have written the list, right? In the square bracket I have written the list of some numbers. So I'm starting from the zeroth index, that is from 1. I have to print the value. So while I is greater than the length of the number, that string. So I don't know the length. So what would I do here? So I would use a length function over here. Length number, I have to print each index. So number curly bracket I, and I plus equal to 1. It would be increasing one by one. So yeah, this thing has been done. Now let us do other question, that is search for a number x in the tuple using loop. So I have to search any number in this tuple using a loop. Let's do this question. Let's take the same list over here. Let's take list, right? Let's suppose I want to find the number. Let's take the variable as x. I want to search the number 4. Let's assign I as 0 because I'm starting from the 0th index. I would be searching where is 4. If I found 4, it would be returning you the index of 4. Okay, that is what I'm going to do in this code. So while, okay, what is going on? While I is greater than the length of the number, because I don't know the length, right? Length of the number, if the number of the index I is equal to the x, what it would be printing? It would be printing you found at index comma I. What if there is not that number? Then else print finding, right? And I have to add this one by one. Let's run this code. See, finding founded at index number 3. Index number 3 is where? 0, 1, 2, 3. Number 4 has been founded, right? What if I'm not writing this code? Let's print out. See, it would be directly printing you that founded at index 3, right? Let's suppose here is something that is, for example, let's suppose the number is 10. Then there is no else statement here, so the code will not execute. Let's take this else case one more time. I plus equal to 1. Let's suppose the x we have to the finding the value is x. Let's find this out. It's like finding, right? So the 10 is not here. That's why, let's suppose 1 founded at index number 0. This is how you can find anything in a list or a tuple, right? Let's see the code one more time. I've assigned the list. I have to find what. So I have given the variable name as x equal to the number whichever I want to found. I'm starting from the index number 0, then I equal to 0, while the I is greater than the length of the numbers, because I don't know the length. So let's assume, so length is a function, it will be assuming whatever the length is, it will be taking that length. If the number, this number, the list over here has any index that is assigned as I, it would be searching for X. If it that index is equal to X, then it will be printing where the index is. Else it would be finding the value, and it would be adding one by one using this thing, right? This thing has been cleared, I guess. Now this question has been cleared. Let's move on with break and continue. What does break and continue means? So break and continue are used in loops. We'll be seeing that how. So break is used to terminate the loop when encountered. We'll be doing some questions with this. And what does continue means? Let's understand what is break first. So it is used to terminate the loop. It means it stops the loop. Let's do this question. Let's suppose I equal to 1. I'm starting from 1 while I is greater than equal to 5. It would be printing I. What if I want to, if I want to break, if I is equal to 3, I want to break the statement. I want to break the statement, then break. Oh, wait, it would be breaking. Okay. And I would be equal to plus equal to 1. Let's see what would be printing. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I'm starting from 1 and it has to go till 5. But I'm using an if statement that if the I is equal to 3, that if I is equal to 3, it would be breaking from the loop. Right. So it has seen that 1 has been printed, 2 has been printed, and when it comes to 3, the loop has been stopped. Same with continue. Let's see what this definition of continue means. Continue means terminates execution in the current iteration and continue execution of the loop while next iteration. Okay, very hectic definition. Let's see from the practical point of view. Continue, like if I is equal to 3, then the loop would continue, then the 3 would not be printed, right? So okay, now this is an infinite loop. Why this is an infinite loop, I will be telling you that. So if I is equal to 3, it should get skipped. So I plus equal to 1, it should get skipped, continue, and then it would be printing you the value. So then it should get printing you the value. Let's see if this code runs. Yeah, the 3 has been skipped. Okay, so the difference between those two are the syntax, right? So in this condition, in this continuous statement, what we are doing is we are going from 1 while it is till 5. What, but if the I is equal to 3, it should continue, means it should add 1, it should not print. So in the break statement, we have seen that if I is equal to 3, it should print I, means it should, before that it should print I, right? But in this case, if I is equal to 3, I should get increased and continue and then print I, and then it should increase. Hectic thing, right? Let's write this code, these two codes one more time. While I is greater than 5. Okay, what is going on? while I is greater than 5, it should print I. It should print I. But if I is equal to 3, it should break. It should break, but with proper spacing. And then I should equal to 1. Right. So this is a break statement and this is a continue statement. Let us see one by one. Okay. So let us see break statement first. If I is equal to 1 while I is greater than 5. So it should print from 1 to 5. It should print it. But if I is equal to 3, it should break it and then continue. Right. So in continue one, if I, it should go from 1 to 5. If I is equal to 3, it should skip. It should add 1. Then I plus equal to 1. It should continue. Then it should print. Rather than writing print above, it would be giving you the infinite code which we have seen right now. Okay, I think this is good to go. Let's continue. Okay, loops in Python. So, okay, so these are break and continue. Now let's move to for loop. What does for loop mean? We have seen while loop. What does while loop? It's same as for loop, but in for loop, it's the syntax may be different, but the logic is simple, same as loops because these two are loops. So loops are used to sequence travel, for example, traversing list, string, tuple, etc. For loops, so for loops, how to write for loop? So in this case, for you have to assign any value that suppose it's el in is a variable in the list and you have to work. Let's suppose we have to print this list. Let's see example of here. We have to print the list over here. So what would I do here? I would be using for loop for el, it's a variable, in is a variable, in is a function. In the list, we have to print el. So the list, so whatever the value of list is, it would be assigning to el and we can print el. Right. So this thing is being okay. Let's run this code. Let's suppose list equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. We have to print it. So what I would do it for I n is a function. For I n list print I. So it would be printing you the value one by one. Right. Print the element of the following list using loop. So in while loop we have seen how to do that. In while loop, what we have done is that we have assigned it, we are using indexing. So from I equal to 0, while I is greater, we don't know the length. That's why length of the number, then it will be printing the n and it will be adding. But in this case, we are just what we have to do is that we have to use for loop I in list and print I. Like so, we have done this with this question. In second question, we are same. We have to search for the x in the tuple using loop. Using for loop, we have to do. Let's suppose this is a list. This is a list. Let's suppose I want to find the number that is 4. I'm starting I with 0 for I in numbers in list. For I in list, if I is if I is equal to x, I would be printing I, and I should be plus equal to 1. Let's print this out. So index number 4, that is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Um, it should be EL. Let's take this as EL. If EL equal to X, we have to print EL because we have assigned the value as 0. That's why it's what was getting here. So 0, right? 4. Let's suppose I want to find uh, 2. Let's print this out. So it's in second place, right? So this thing has been cleared, I guess. Now let us move. This question has been done. Now what is range? So range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 by default and increment 1 and stop before a specific number. So how does range work? So we would be writing range. It's an function. We would be writing the starting point. For example, I want to print number from 1 to 5, then 1 comma till how have to print till 5 I want to print, and the step how much I want to skip the step. If I write here like suppose 1, 10 and 2, then it would be giving you the value of 2 table, 4, 6, 8. It would be skipping 2 and it would be giving you the value, right? So let us see how does it work. Let's clear this up. Let us see the print one, the range one. Print range, range of 5. Let us print this. So the range is from 0 to 5, right? Let's use for loop over here. For I in range 2 comma 10, print I. So yeah, from 2 to 10, not 10. 10 is not included here because we are using range over here. That's why 10 would be excluded because that's n minus 1. And the 10 over here is n minus 1. That means 10 minus 1, 9. From 2 to 9 would be printed, right? And let's suppose I want to print even numbers. Then what would I do? From 2 to 100 if I want to print the even numbers. So it would be starting from 2. We know that even numbers are starting from 2. 2 comma 100. 100 wouldn't be printed, but how to write? Comma 2. The like 2, 4, 6. After every second digit, it would get printed. Let's print this out. So here is all your even numbers. Even numbers has been printed, right? So yeah, print number from 1 to 100. We all can do this. Print numbers from 100 to 1. Let's write this. So from 1 to 100, how to write it? It would be starting from 1. It would not print 100. So what we have to write at the ending? It would be n minus 1. That would, if we want 100, then what should be the n? N should be 101. This is how 100 would be printed at the last. Let's run this code. So yeah, 100 has been printed. It is starting from 1, yeah, 1 until 100. Let's suppose we have to print from 100 to 1. So 100 would be printed here. right? But 0 won't be printed. Rather than 0, 1 would be printed. That's what we want, right? And thing is, if we want to go in a reverse order, then we have to use a step over here. What's that step? We have to minus 1 every digit, like 100 minus 1, 99. Then that 99 should be negative with minus 1. So minus 1. Let's print this. So yeah, from 100 to 1 has been printed. Like, now the next question. Print the multiplication table of number n. Same thing. Let's suppose n we are taking from the user. Right. We are using for loop for I in range, for I in range 1 comma 11, because 11 won't be printed, 11 would be not printed, 10 would be printed. That's why we are taking here from, and we would be printing n multiply by I, right? Let's take the number as 5. Okay, each time it would be getting added, right? Each time it would get one by one added. So let's suppose we are taking it from I equal to 0, I equal to, sorry, 1. Okay, what is wrong here? Yeah, so n has been, we have taken n from the user. Now what we are going to do here is we are going to be adding one by one. So wait for a sec. Okay, the major mistake what I have did is that n should be multiplied with not 1, it should be multiplied with I. That's my mistake. Let's suppose the number is 5. Here you go with the 5 table. Right, it should get me, sorry, my mistake. That was I have read it by 1. Like so. This is how the second question we do. So this question has been done. Now, what does pass statement do? So pass statement. Pass is a null statement that does nothing. It uses a placeholder for future code. Right. It does nothing. It has no value. It has no use case. For example, like in this case, for L in range 10, pass. Right. Now let us do question, that is, okay, find the sum of, these are the last two questions. Find the sum of first n number while using while loop. We have to find the sum of first n natural number. So So let us do this. Let's take the input from the user from n. We have no idea that tell how much the user want to print. Let's take that input and your number. Now we are using while here, so I should be equal to 1 because from 1 we are adding it. Let's take the sum as 0 while I is greater than the number. I is greater than the number, we have to sum plus equal to I, and the I should get increased by 1, and then we have to print the sum. Let's run this code. Okay, something is wrong here. Yeah, enter your number. Let's suppose I want from 1 to 10, that would be 45. Let's suppose I want from 1 to 100, 4950. Okay, while n is greater than equal to n, then it should get printed. Yeah, now this is a right code. Right, so what we have done, we have taken input from the user, we have assigned the value of I, it should start from 1. We have assigned the sum as 0. We don't know how much is the sum, so we have assigned it to 0. While the I is greater than n, right, we have to sum it from 1 by 1. We have to add it to 1, right, and then I plus equal to 1, and we have printed the sum. Let us see the same question in the for loop. Let's take the same input. Now in the for loop, we don't want to assign the value of I because the I is already assigned here inside the bracket. We have seen that. So just we have to assign sum as 0. Then for loop for I in range. What is the range? 1 comma n plus 1. Sum should be equal to sum plus I, and we have to print the sum. Let us remove this code. Let us run this code one time. Let's see if this code is correct or not. 100, 50, 50. Yeah. So this code is right? So this is how you can print sum of n natural number using while loop. The next question, find the factorial of first n numbers. We have to find the factorial of first n number. Easy question. Let us do this one, right? Let us assign the value as n. I want the factorial of 3. Let us assign the factorial as factorial equal to 1. I is equal to 1. While I is greater than equal to n, I want to print, it should get factorize multiply by equal to I, and then okay, factorize equal to I, I should be greater, should get increased, and I want to print the factorize fact. Okay, what is wrong? I is greater than, I is greater than, okay, let's print this. Factorial of 3 is 6, right? 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6, right? So this is how you can get factorial of any number. Now let us do one more question. So let us take n from the input from the user, and let's print the even numbers. Let's print the sum of even numbers. So let's go backwards. Enter your number, sum. Yeah, okay. Let's take this one. Let's take this question. So this question was, you have to sum the numbers of natural number. We have to sum it. Let's suppose we have to sum uh, from 1 to something. We have to sum just the even numbers. So what we are going to do here, so for I in range this thing, if I is divisible by is equal to 0, then the sum would be this, and we have to print it. Let's print this. Let's take this 10 numbers. Sum is 30, right? So this is how you can get the sum of even numbers. How you can get? So we are taken input from the user. We are assigned the sum as 0 for I in range 1 comma n plus 1. If the I is divisible by 2, at the remainder, if it is 0, then we have to sum it to I. Right. Just in case, if I want to know from 1 to 10 how many numbers, odd numbers are there, then I would do a sum equal to sum plus 1, not I. Let's take 10. Okay, not there. Let's suppose 5. There are two or even numbers, that is 2 and 4, right? So just by changing here, I could know if I want sum or the count, right? This is how you can do it. So we have seen this thing. For loops have been done. So what are loops has been done? Some practice questions has been done. Two types of loops have been done: while loop or loop. Like, so everything has been covered. This code has been covered, right? I think you have enjoyed the video, lecture number 5. Let's see you guys in the lecture number 6, where we'll be using functions and recursion. It's a very important, very easy topic, and we would be doing some more questions over there. So thank you everybody for listening me peacefully, carefully, anything, right? Thank you and have a nice day.